In 1975, Australian symphonic rockers Sebastian Hardie released the album Four Moments on Polydor, and from it, the instrumental Openings. And that was Openings, the closing epic instrumental on Sebastian Hardie's 1975 release, Four Moments. And it began with this descending, spiraling down keyboard Hammond line. It kind of made me think of a song that came out a few years later. Cafe Jake's treatment of the track Boulevard of Broken Dreams. Similar yet different, but kind of sound. It was both in the sound and the playing. Slow, lyrical, minor chord guitar melody, going through about 8 bars or so of like D minor before switching to like 2 bars a piece, I think, of like A minor, G minor, F, or 2 or 4, something. I can vouch for the key centers anyway. Overall, kind of somewhat of a melancholy vibe overall, or kind of a mournful vibe, I should say. Kind of like a somewhat lonely, desolate feel. And then the sweeping bridge where the key rises to B flat and then descends to A minor, G, with this searing guitar line and amid organ washes. And then the main structure, the D minor structure, returns, this time with thicker, more I say organ-y than before. And some glowing droplets of piano amid swirling Hammond, spiraling upward. Yeah, each passage, we would ultimately hear that D minor passage like 5 or 6 times in the piece, but each time it would have more layers to it, or it would spotlight a different instrument, or different sounds, and then this guitar refrain that brings the track to a standstill, one of the ultimate earworms of the track, actually, followed by that organ intro riff, and then back into another repetition of the main verse, wordless verse. This time, the guitar becoming louder during the third run through of the D minor section, more pronounced, lyrical guitar sustains and such, alternating with scaly runs. And then this icy Mellotron passage commenced at around 6:40, and after a minute or so, this Celeste-like sound was heard for about 30 seconds, although that I don't see that instrument listed in the credits. And then that guitar refrain stands still once again at around 8:30, which presaged a more intense run-through of the verse, with thick Mellotron competing with soaring, high-bending note guitar. And then a refrain, and then that refrain, once again, that pause at around 10:50 signaled a fast, brisk, loud, rocking variation of the main theme, with wailing, brisk, scaly runs, a galloping rhythmic pattern, punctual bass, and this time so much volume and intensity that the organ chords were kind of submerged in it all, but they were filling things out sonically nonetheless. And then this icy slowdown for the closeout, that frosty Mellotron chords just kind of emerging from the background. And Four Moments, Sebastian Hardie were a four-piece. Mario Millo, the composer, mastermind of the band, on guitar and mandolin. And he also sings, just not on this track. And he would, after this, the two Sebastian Hardie albums and the Windchase album, he would record a solo album in 1979. Yeah, and then behind him he's got Toivo Pilt on keyboards, Hammond, piano, Mellotron, and Moog, and the rhythm section of apparently brothers, Peter Plavsic and Alex Plavsic. So it seems like some of these Australians come from Eastern European backgrounds. Toivo Pilt, that sounds Estonian. And Plavsic sounds Czech. Um, I have to read more up on this band's background. Yeah, this album, the side one consists of the Four Moments, four-part song suite. Very much like a Mellotron laden, distinct passage with kind of a leitmotif between the first and final passage. And like reoccurring and like variations, like more kind of ballady variation, instrumental variations of reoccurring themes and such. Very much in the vein of like Yes and Genesis. And then side two, like the track we just heard and the one before it, Rosanna, more in the Camel vein. The vein of like Camel instrumentals, like between, like on the albums like Snow Goose, Moon Madness, and Rain Dances, that period, yeah. Anyway, yeah, Sebastian Hardie, contenders for Australia's symphonic-rock crown, as Steve Feigenbaum once put it. Yeah. For more Rubies and Sapphires from the Sebastian Hardie and Windchase catalog, see the directory of albums by Australian artists linked in the description below. Like and subscribe, follow me on social media, share the video, and leave a comment if there are any observations you have about the big long instrumental we just heard, the interplay, the harmonic counterpoint, the atmosphere conjured by different instruments, the mood and scenery conveyed by the advancing passages. And until next time, this is Zaragon, the world's most air travel trimaximalist, signing off.